you guys, we are live today, 4/18/2020. Massachusetts is snowing. We got the live Vinyasa flow coming up in live, 30 seconds. So as always, I recommend playing your own music because mine's going to be super low. And then just know that this is a Vinyasa, but this is also yoga, right? So you go at your own pace. This is your practice. This is your time, okay? So I'm going to start my music real soon. I hope to meet some people on the mat. If nobody shows up, doesn't matter. It's going to YouTube, okay? So whenever you guys are ready, get your own music ready, get your mat ready, and we will begin on the mat in Sukhasana. So rolling your shoulders down and back, standing up through the crown of your head. Okay, we got at least one person here. I can't see who it is. But whoever comes, thank you guys for coming. Leave comments. I will reply later because I love seeing the comments afterwards because I can't see them from over here. Okay, so Vinyasa flow. Coming down onto the mat into Sukhasana. Rolling your shoulders down and back, extending up through the crown of your head. Beginning to breathe in and out through your nose. Deep inhales. Deep exhales. Quick note, hopefully everybody stays for the reading at the end, you guys. It's a long one, but it's a really good one, okay? So please stay till the end for the reading, okay? And then we'll come back to the moment. Okay, so deep inhales. Deep exhales through the nose. Letting the breath become the focus here. We're working on courage and strength today. And then moving into that Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath, inhaling, expanding the belly, expanding the ribs, expanding the chest. On the exhale, so from the chest to the ribs, to the belly, finally concaving. So inhaling and filling up from bottom to top. Exhaling and emptying from top to bottom. Leave comments, I will reply later. Love seeing them, you guys. Now we go into the yogic breath. We go into that connection. Keeping that spine long. Great, on the exhale, releasing the chin to the chest. Bringing the right ear over to the right shoulder. If you have no neck issues, inhaling the head back, left ear to left shoulder, and then exhaling forward. If you have neck issues, just keeping the head in front, shoulder to shoulder. Otherwise, we inhale back. Exhale forward. And then reverse directions, exhaling forward, inhaling back. So happy you guys could join me today. Great, coming back to center here, okay? Bringing your arms together in front of you, okay? With the fingertips and the thumbs together, okay? On the inhale, open up the right arm, keeping the eyes on the left arm, and then exhale, come back. So we're going to inhale, open up, exhale, back. Eyes, stay with that left thumb. And now on the inhale, the eyes follow the right thumb. So again, only let the arm go as far as you can see it. Taking one more. Great, now over to the left. So eyes stay with the right thumb. Inhale that left arm out. Exhale forward. So we're warming up the shoulders here. Also opening up the chest. This is courage and strength. And now eyes follow left. Great, now take that right arm and you can either bring that right hand palm down underneath the right sit bone or wrap it around to the outside of the left rib cage here, okay? Then inhaling that left arm up and over to the right side. As you exhale, releasing left ear to left shoulder. Finding a good stretch in that neck on the right side. Great, then inhaling, come back up, release that. So again, either left hand underneath the left sit bone, palm down, or left arm around behind you, grab the right ribs. Inhale that right arm up and over to the left side. As you exhale, releasing right ear to right shoulder. Great, then releasing that. Arms out to T formation. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, bring right hand behind you. Left hand onto the outside of the right leg. Lengthen up through the spine. Gaze over right shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Great, now you can keep that left hand where it is. Inhale that right arm, cross it over the left, bringing that right hand onto the outside of that left knee. On the exhale, rounding the back, releasing the head here, stretching out the back. Great, then right hand stays where it is. Inhale that left arm up, back, behind you, gaze over left shoulder. Again, inhale, lengthen up through the spine, reach up through the crown of the head, push the sit bones down. Exhale, ooh, gaze over left shoulder. Just got a nice little crack there. Great, keeping that right hand where it is. Inhale that left arm over to the right knee, so it goes over that right arm. And now on the exhale, rounding the back, releasing the head here. Great, inhaling, rising up, rocking up, hands and knees, tabletop position. So in tabletop, knees are going to be directly below the hips. Hands are going to be directly below the shoulders. Eyes of the elbows are going to be facing forward. Tops of the feet are down. Okay? Inhaling, releasing the belly down, puffing the chest out, looking up. Exhale, round the back, tuck the tail, release the head. So using your breath here to guide you in cat-cow. Inhaling, belly down, puffing out, looking up. Exhaling, rounding and tucking. Great, coming back to neutral. Inhaling, right leg, left arm, bird dog. Reach through that right heel, left middle finger. No sinking in the right shoulder. On the exhale, down to the mat, around the back, elbow to knee. And then inhale, lengthen back up. Exhale, elbow to knee. And then inhaling, lengthening here, you can hold or bend that right knee from the left shoulder. Inhale that left arm up, back, behind you. Grab the outside of that right foot, pushing foot into hand, gazing over left shoulder into tiger's tail here. And then releasing that hold. letting it go, readjusting. Then we're going to inhale, right arm, left leg, bird dog. So again, heel, middle finger, no sinking. On the exhale, down to the mat, around the back, elbow to knee. Inhale, lengthen back out. And then either holding here, again, no sinking. I just sank there just a little bit, I noticed it, okay? Or bending that left knee, right arm, again, it reaches forward, up and back, so it opens up that right shoulder, pushing the left foot into the right hand, opening up, gazing over right shoulder. Great, and then releasing that hold, letting it go. Bring those knees wide, big toes together. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. On the exhale, release the sit bones back. Let the arms come out in front. Wide-legged child's pose. Take several breaths here in child's. Okay, this is your time on your mat, your practice, knowing you can always come here, listening to your body. Good, and then inhaling, coming back up into tabletop, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Curl your toes under. On the exhale, push up, downward facing dog. Roll your shoulder blades towards your armpits. Push up and back through the hips. Weight in the fingertips, not in the wrist. Head is relaxed. Ears are aligned with the arms. You can stay here if you choose. Begin to pedal your feet, walk your dog. Lift one heel, bend that knee, and then the other. And then on the exhale, let those heels go back as far as they may. Push through the fingers a little bit more. Lengthen out the spine more. Let that head relax. Squeeze the front of those thighs. And then gazing at your hands, bending your knees, stepping your feet up to meet. Inhaling to a halfway lift, flatten out your back, extend out through your crown. Exhale, fold. Bend knees, left elbow right hand, right elbow left. Release the head in between. And begin to rock here from side to side in ragdoll. Knees are bent, head is heavy, just letting it go. And then letting those hands hang all the way down, knees still bent, head still heavy. Begin to inhale and roll up, ever so slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Roll your shoulders down and back, extend up through the crown of your head. Reach through your fingertips, internally rotate your thighs. Tadasana. And then inhale those arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift, flatten it up. Step back plank, high push-up position. So holding plank here, releasing to the knees. It is up to you if you're holding. All 10 toes are down. Spine is long, core is engaged, breathing. Great, and then shifting the weight forward, knees down, tops of the feet, legs together. Exhale, modify chaturanga, all the way down. Bring those hands out wide and tent those fingers here. Inhale, rise up into this variation. Shoulders roll back, down and away. Pull that chest forward, open up. Push the tops of the feet into the mat. Any pain in the low back, just come down a little bit here. Pain in the shoulders, come back to standard cobra. Exhale, come all the way down, hands at your side. Now inhaling, coming up into standard cobra, shoulders back, down and away. Pull forward, open up, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Gaze at the hands, step, hop, float the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees down or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Upward facing dog or cobra, and pull forward. Open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders. Push up and back. Gaze at the hands. Step, hop, float your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees down or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, and pull forward. Open up, push through the tops of the feet. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Inhale the right leg back, pushing through the heel. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. And then we're going to inhale, go back, and then exhale, knee to elbow again. And then inhale, push through that heel. On the exhale, right foot comes through to right hand. If it gets stuck, just grab it, place it where it needs to go. Left knee comes down, top of that left foot comes down. When you're ready, inhale, rise up, crescent moon lunge. Shoulders rolled, back down and away. Pull that twist forward, open up, push that hip forward and then towards the navel here. So you can stay here. If you want to take this deeper, bending that left knee, taking hold of the foot with the left hand, and perhaps with the right. Again, listening to your body. It's better to hold the pose correctly than struggle and fall in and out. You'll get there in time. Great, if you have that hold, release it, bring those hands on down. Gaze up, curl those toes under, push up. When you're ready, inhale, rise up, high lunge, shoulders roll back down and away. Hips are square towards the front. On the toes of the back foot. Right knee over right ankle. Then if you want to take those hands behind you, clasp them. Inhale, roll your shoulder blades back. Puff your chest out. Open up. And then you can stay there if you want. Push through that right heel. Push up. Come into Vrikasana, tree pose. Okay? Left leg on the right thigh, calf, or ankle, but never on the knee. You can have this hold here with the bow behind or up in standard. Up to you. Great, if you have that bind, release it. Now we're going to bring those arms up. We're going to exhale, bring knee to elbow, and then inhale, come back. So exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, come back. Grounding through that right foot, lengthening up as well. So you root down and rise up. One more. Great, then bring those hands behind you if you choose. Back into that bind. And then on the inhale, step that left foot back. Come back, high lunge. Let go of those hands. Bring it on down. Step it on back. Knees down or not. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, pull forward, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll shoulders, push up and back. Inhale that left leg back, push through the heel. On the exhale, left knee to left elbow, and then inhale back up. Use your breath, contract the diaphragm. Great, and then here, release that left foot down, right knee, top of the right foot down. Inhale, rise up, crescent moon lunge, shoulders roll back down and away, hips square towards the front, push through that right foot. So again, you can stay here if you choose. Bend the right knee, take hold of the foot with the right hand, reach out with the left, or bring that behind and hold as well. Great, if you have that hold, release it. We all inhale, reach back. Bring those hands on down. Curl right toes under. Push up. When you feel balanced, inhale, rise up. High lunge, shoulders roll back down and away, hips square towards the front. Wiggle those front toes. Make sure you're not pushing through them too much. Then you can stay there, bring those hands behind you and clasp them. Inhale, roll your shoulder blades back, puff your chest out. Open up. So again, you can stay here with these arms or go into standard. Stay here completely in this pose or push through that left heel. Floating up into Vrksasana, tree pose. Again, foot on kickstand, calf or upper thigh. Up to you here. And then the arms can be in standard or not for a moment. Try to push that right hip back and squeeze that left glute. Again, ground through and rise up. And then you can stay there, bring those arms out. And then on the exhale, right elbow to right knee. Inhale, lengthen up. One more here. Great, and then if you choose, bring those hands back behind you again, shoulders roll back down and away. On the inhale, come on back into that high lunge. Open. Release it. Bring them on down. Step it back. Knees down or not. Exhale. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll your shoulders, push up and back. Gaze at your hands. Step, hop, float to your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. We are taking it slow. I don't mess around on the vinyasas. This is how we build strength for the chaturanga. So again, chaturanga is hard for you. Go to those knees, okay? This is how you get there. We lean forward, we inhale and smile. Cha, ta, ra, ga, dan, da, sa, na. And then we inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, roll shoulders back, pull hard forward, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back through the hips. Inhale that right leg up, push through the heel. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow, over to the left elbow, and then inhale back up. Now stack that hip and open up. And again. So on the exhales, elbow to elbow, inhale, rise and stack. And then we're going to inhale, open, 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 stack, stack, stack. Exhale, right foot sweeps through, right hand. If it gets stuck, just grab. Okay, turn out that left foot 60 to 90 degrees. Heel to arch, hands on instep. Windmill up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Ground through the outside edge of that left foot, push through the left pinky toe. Open up those hips, find the bend. Right knee over right ankle, shoulders rolled, back down and away. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Gaze over that right hand, reach, arm on the leg, outside, inside. Block or not, Parsvakonasana. Side angle, opening up here. You can always use the block. Left arm over the head, pinky side down to extended. Utthita Parsvakonasana. And then if you choose, you can go for that bind. Right shoulder comes down, right arm up back behind that right leg, and left arm comes up back behind the body. Taking hold, gazing over left shoulder. And if you have that hold, release it. Reach back up through that left hand. If it's extended, bring it on up. Gaze at that left hand. Inhale, rise. Straighten out that right leg. Shorten your stance here perhaps. Readjust those hips. Squeeze the front of the thighs. We gaze over that right hand. We inhale, exhale, lengthen, release, hand on shin, foot outside, inside. Block or not, watch the right ribs. Reach out through that right shoulder, lengthen up through that left hand for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So again, you can stay here. You can go to extended, pinky over, or pinky towards the floor, arm over the head, or perhaps go for that bind, let that right shoulder drop, right arm comes around the right leg, left arm up, back behind. And if you have that bind, release it. Gaze up at the left hand. If it's over the head, bring it on up. Gaze, inhale, rise. Gaze over the right. Bend the knee. Windmill it. Step it back. Again, we take it slow. Knees down or not. Inhale, exhale. Cha, ta, ra, ga, dan, da, sa, na. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, pull forward, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll shoulders, push up and back, feet together. Inhale the left leg up, bend the knee, stack the hip, open up. On the exhale, left knee goes to left elbow, over to the right elbow. And then we inhale, bring it on back up. Keeping that knee high. One more here. Stacking, open, open, open. On the exhale, left foot sweeps through, left hand, right foot 60 to 90, heel to arch, hands in step. Windmill it up, Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Again, open up those hips, knee over ankle, shoulder roll back down and away, push through the outside edge of that right foot, in particular the pinky toe. Then we're gazing over that left hand, we're gonna reach, reach, arm on leg, outside, inside, block or not, Parsvakonasana, side angle. Open up the chest here. And again, you can stay there. Bring the right arm over the head, pinky side down to extended. Or if you choose, go for the bind. Left arm snakes under left leg, right arm up, back behind. Gaze over right shoulder. And if you have that bind, release it. If you're extended, bring that right arm towards the ceiling. That is where we gaze as we inhale and rise up. Gaze over the left. Straighten out the legs, perhaps shorten the stance. Again, I always do a little bit of adjustment here on my own hips, okay, just so I can reconnect. Squeeze those front of the thighs. Arms reaching forward, gaze over the left. We inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Take the time. Lengthen. Release. Hand on shin, foot outside, inside. Block or not, Trikonasana, triangle. Again, reach through that left shoulder, lengthen out the left ribs, open up the chest. And your choice here, you can stay there, bring that arm over the right arm over the head, pinky side down, or perhaps go for the bind, left arm snakes under left leg, right arm up, back behind. And if you have the bind, release it. If you're extended, bring it on up. Gaze at the right hand. Inhale, rise. Gaze over the left. Bend the knee. Windmill it. Step it back. Knees down or not, but first we smile. And then we inhale and exhale for cha, ta, ra, ga, dan, da, sa, na. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, pulling forward, opening up. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll shoulders, push up and back. Gaze at the hand, step, hop, float the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees down or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Option for an additional push-up, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Okay, inhale the right leg up, push through the heel. On the exhale, right foot comes to the outside of that right hand, and the foot taps here. Okay, so you're on the toes. You can release that heel and stay here and go right into runner's lunge, or stay on those toes, engage the core and the shoulders, and inhale, tap back, exhale, tap forward. And then exhale, release that right foot down, turn it out, 45. Knee over ankle. You can stay here. If it's too much, you can release that left knee down. Want to go deeper? Curl those left toes under, come up, come down onto the forearms. Open up that right hip. And then you can stay there if you want to come up onto those hands. Back knee comes up. Step the right foot midway down on the mat, turned out. Turn onto the outside edge of that left foot. Okay, so you're on the knife's edge, very active. Right arm reaches up, modified Vashisthasana, side plank. You can stay here, stagger, or stack for full Vashisthasana. If you choose, bring that right leg up. And then let that right hand come down, right foot comes down. Knees down or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Option for additional push-up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Inhale, the left leg back, push through the heel. On the exhale, left foot comes to the outside of that left hand. Either on the toes, or if you want to go right into runner's lunge, you can. 45-degree angle, knee over ankle. If you want to have a little bit of fun, engage the core here. Onto those toes, we inhale, back, exhale, forward. And then exhale, let that foot come up, turn it out. Too much. Release that back knee down. Want to go deeper? Curl those toes under. Come down onto the forearms. Again, focus on the left hip here. Let it open. Great, if you're on your forearms, come back onto your hands. If your back knee is down, bring it on up. Turn on, take that left foot midway down on the mat, opened up here. Now turn onto the outside edge of that right foot. Again, the knife's edge, really active here. Shoulder over wrist, inhale, left arm up, modified Vashisthasana, side plank. You can stay here, stagger, or stack for full Vashisthasana. If you choose, left leg rises up. And then left hand comes down, left foot comes down. Knees down or not, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, pull forward, open up. Option for additional push-up, exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Gaze at the hands, step, hop, float to your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees down or not, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Option for that additional push up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Gazing at the hands here. So you can either inhale that right leg up, bring it out to the outside of that right leg, and then out to the outside of that right hand. And then the left foot comes out as well. Or if you've taken my classes before, I like to have fun here. We're gonna exhale, float the feet out to the outsides, and then inhale, float back several times. So exhale, inhale. Push through those fingertips. And then coming down, heels closer to each other than the toes. If you're on your toes, that's fine. I was there for a long time. Formalasana, roll your shoulders down and back, hands at heart center. Open it up here. So making sure you're pushing the knees back behind you. Should be no pain in the knees. And then you can stay here, or if you'd like to try for a Bakasana, crane pose, you can. If you're new to it, get a crash pad, put it in front of you first, as I always say. Dental work's really expensive, okay? We're gonna take those hands, index fingers facing forward. Come up to a low squat, turn those toes to face the back of the wrist. We get those knees on the back of the arms here. We always gaze forward. Eyes are always forward. Then you bring one leg up, and then the other. For Bakasana, crane pose. And then you can stay there and come back down to Malasana, or if you want, float back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog, and then we come back to everybody that's still in Malasana, because I haven't forgot about you. I always come back. Shoulders, roll back down and away. No yogi left behind, right? Great, bringing those hands down, come up to a low squat, step the right leg back, step the left leg back. Knees down or not, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Roll shoulders, push up and back. Now you can just stay here and work on releasing the back of those legs. Or if you want, inhale that right leg up. Right hand up. Inhale the right hand up. Exhale, thread right arm underneath the body. Grab the outside of the left ankle or thigh, but not behind the knee. Open up, get that twist. Great, and then releasing that right hand, and then inhaling that left hand up. Exhale, thread left arm under the body. Grab the outside of that right ankle or thigh or calf, just not the knee. Release that hold. Gaze at the hands, step, hop, float the feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bring those feet out a little bit wide here, okay? Grabbing behind the ankles or the calves, just not the knees. Long spine, and then on the exhale, begin to hinge at the hips forward. Let the weight come onto the toes here. Reach the sit bones up with the inhales and the head down. On the exhales, concave the belly, folding deeper. Great, hands at the shins. Inhale up to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, slight bend in the knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, lead with the chest. Inhale, halfway lift. Step back plank. Knees down or not. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra, pull forward, open up. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll shoulders, push up and back. Gaze at the hands, float through to a seated position. Coming down onto your back here, okay? I know what you're thinking, but Liz, it's so early for back bends. I got stuff for you at the end, you guys, don't worry, okay? So, feet close to the sit bones, arms at the side. You can always use a block here in between the knees if you choose, okay? Pushing through the heels and the outside edges of the feet. We're going to inhale and lift those hips up. Keep those knees internally rotating. Inhaling and imagine the sternum, the middle of the rib cage, going up back behind the head. No tension in the cervical spine. Use the breath. And then if you choose, rolling one shoulder underneath you, then the other, clasp the hands. Open up here. Use the inhales to create space between each vertebrae. And then unclasping the hands, let one shoulder unroll. Then the other, come down with control from shoulders to tailbone. One vertebrae at a time. Taking a few breaths there in neutral spine. Resist the urge to bring the knees into the chest. So you can either come back up into bridge here if you choose, or if Urdhva Dhanasana, wheel pose, is part of your practice, by all means you can. So we're going to take, for Urdhva Dhanasana, we're going to take those hands next to our ears with the fingertips facing towards our shoulder blades, or towards our shoulders. We're going to let those elbows come out to the side, bring them up behind us, and then roll those shoulder blades down our back here, okay? We're going to imagine a block in between our elbows that we cannot drop. We're going to inhale up to the head, and then we're going to inhale all the way up into Urdhva Dhanasana. Wheel pose. Use those inhales. Make sure the feet are not externally rotating. Opening up with the breath. And then beginning to bend the elbows, letting the head slide back. I got a little cramp there. Coming back into bridge. And then if you're in bridge with hands clasped, unclasp them, shoulders unroll. Use the front of the body to release the back of the body. Nice and easy here. Great, and then when you're down, if you choose, you bring those knees out wide. On the exhale, just let the knees rock to one side. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale over to the other side. Great, and then on the exhale, bring both knees into the chest, cross the ankles, hands behind the knees. Rock up to a seated position, okay? We're gonna let that left leg go out in front of us, okay? We're gonna bring that right foot in, close to the left leg, and we're gonna push that right hip behind us here, okay? We're gonna take that right foot either into the left hand or the left elbow crease here. Toenails towards the knee. That right arm comes around to hold. And you begin to rock here. Okay? So maybe this is where you are. Maybe this is what feels comfortable to you. Okay? Or pushing that or lifting up that sit bone a little bit more. Maybe you can get that right arm onto the inside of that right leg here. Okay? So now it's here. that left hand is going to come over the top of the right foot onto the outside of it. Okay? And maybe you're here, or maybe you inhale up into compass pose here. Opening up. Maybe you're there, or maybe you bend that knee, bring it back a little bit more, and get that right leg on that right shoulder. Clamp down. Point your toes. Come up into elephant's trunk. And if you're there, cross that left ankle over the right. Straighten them out. Come into eight crooked limb pose. And then we're going to inhale, come on back, release, shake it out. Great, so now right leg goes out, left foot comes in, push the sit bone back. It's really important, you want to open up here. Now, left foot, either into the right hand or the right elbow crease, toenails towards the knee, cradle it, and rock it. Like a little baby. And so maybe you stay here, and this is where you want to stay, and this is totally acceptable. Okay, you stay with where you are. You don't push beyond, because that's when you get hurt. You have to be okay with where you are. Or maybe you sit it back a little bit more, hold the foot, get that left arm on the inside. Now, that right hand comes over the left foot and grounds onto the outside of that left foot, okay? That left hand is here, and then it straightens out into compass pose. So I'm not going to extend fully here. I do have a slight hamstring tenderness, so I'm just going to stay here with a slight bend. And then again, you can stay there or adjust your headband, right? Push that left leg back. Get that left leg on top of that left shoulder. Point the toes. On the exhale, come up into elephant's trunk. If you're there, right ankle goes over left. Come on out into 8 crooked ankles. Or 8 crooked limbs. Ankles, limbs, I don't know. And then inhale. Come on back. Release it. Oh, shake it out. Okay, great. Right leg comes out, left foot comes in. Remove the flesh. Push through the heels. Inhale your arms up. Exhale. Hinge forward. Janu Sirsasana. Again, if you need a strap, use a strap. Yoga is all about connecting to the body more than anything. It's not about all the poses. That's only 1/8 of the practice. And then reaching through those hands, inhaling those arms up. Bringing them next to you. Left leg goes out. Right leg comes in. Remove the flesh, push through the heel. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, Janu Sirsasana. So again, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Great, then reaching through those hands, inhaling your arms up, bringing them next to you. Okay, bringing your feet out wide on the mat, scooting your bum forward, coming down onto your back. Your left leg goes out straight. On the exhale, the right knee comes into the chest and hugs it in nice and tight. Take the arms around that right leg, relax the feet. Holding the right leg with the left arm, taking the right arm out to T formation. Turn and gaze. Inhale. Exhale, release right leg to left. Keeping right shoulder down. Good, inhaling, coming back up, releasing that right leg. On the exhale, left knee to chest, hug it in. Left arm, left side, T formation, turning gaze, inhale. Exhale, release left leg to right, keeping left shoulder down. And then inhaling, coming back up, bringing both knees into the chest wide. And let those feet come out on your mat with the knees bent, feet wide. Arms are at your side with the palms facing up. Letting the right leg begin to become heavy as it opens up towards the floor. When your left hip shifts, let your right leg slide out straight. Foot flopping. And let your left knee begin to fall to the outside of the floor. When the right hip shifts, left leg slides out straight, foot flopping. Closing your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. 4. Shavasana. Final relaxation. Corpse pose. Deep inhales. Deep exhales. Courage is a word that tempts us to think outwardly, to run bravely against opposing fire, to do something under besieging circumstance, and perhaps, above all, to be seen to do it in public, to show courage, to be celebrated in story, rewarded with medals, given the accolade. But a look at its linguistic origins is to look in a more interior direction and toward its original template. Courage is the measure of our heartfelt participation with life, with another, with community, a work, a future. To be courageous is not necessarily to go anywhere or do anything, except to make conscious those things we already feel deeply, and then to live through the unending vulnerabilities of those consequences. To be courageous is to seat our feelings deeply in the body and in the world, to live up to and into the necessities of relationships that often already exist, with things we find we already care deeply about, with a person, a future, a possibility in society, or with an unknown that begs us on and always has begged us on. To be courageous is to stay close to the way we were made. To live to the point of tears, not as a call for maudlin sentimentality, but as an invitation to the deep privilege of belonging. The way of being affects us, shapes us, and breaks our hearts at a fundamental level. It is a fundamental dynamic of human incarnation to be moved by what we feel, as if surprised by the actuality and privilege of love and affection and its possible loss. Courage is what love looks like when tested by the simple, everyday necessities of being alive. We become courageous whenever we live closely to the point of tears, with any new possibility made known inside us, whenever we demonstrate a faith in the interior and align ourselves with the new and surprising and heartfelt necessities of even the average existence. To allow ourselves to feel deeply and thoroughly what has already come into being is to change our future, simply by living up to the consequences of knowing what we hold in our affections. Slowly do we learn when we really care about and allow our outer life to be realigned in that gravitational pull. With maturity, that robust vulnerability comes to feel like the only necessary way forward, the only real invitation and the surest, safest grounds from which to step. On the inside, we come to know who and what and how we love and what we can do to deepen that love. Only from the inside, outside, and only by looking back does it look like courage. Everybody taking a really big inhale here, expanding out the belly. Open up your mouth, sigh it out, let it go. And then wiggling your toes and wiggling your ankles. Wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Rolling your ankles and rolling your wrists. Bringing your knees into your chest and hugging them in. Hugging yourself. And then when you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, into fetal position. Taking a moment there. Taking a moment for yourself. With yourself. By yourself. Love yourself. And then when you're ready, placing your left hand on the floor in front of your face and using that to help you push up and come into Sukhasana, easy pose, cross-legged pose. Thank you all for joining me this morning. As always, I had a wonderful time. The quote at the end is from David White. It is lengthy, I know. But to be fully courageous, we have to go in here first. Find out what matters here first. And live here first. Bringing from here to out there. When it looks like from the outside is when it's called courage. But it takes the courage to actually go in first and do the investigative work to find what you love and then to live that with authenticity. Have a wonderful, glorious weekend. Namaste.